Hello, welcome to In Brandon. Today I have Paul and Alla with me today. Thank you very much for coming on.
Our pleasure.
It's our pleasure too,
Great.
and thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. We're going to talk all about the Clear Lake Chamber Music Festival. So first off, let's get into it. So can you tell us a little bit about the history of the Clear Lake Chamber Festival?
Well, it's already 12 years, like we run and our 13 years of the festival. So it's history, 12 years of history. It is a really maybe long way to talk, but it is as interesting about our festival. It is as unique. When we create the festival, actually it was Alexander Tselikov idea, our artistic director, create something outside the city. And when we came to National Park, we was amazed about how beautiful place, and we really like the Manitoba and living here, and it's our idea to create something not just only in a city as used to, like it's might be like it's in Manitoba, we have some festival, it's in a city, but we're wondering if we can do something outside the city for people during the summer. They like it's even small places, but they come and can hear wonderful concert and a high caliber with a musician who is really play outstanding musician and great music. Paul, thank you for him. 10 years ago, when we was 10th University, he was create wonderful history, like it goes through the histories, some wonderful, interesting moment. Some musician, like it's like we have musicians who come from U.S., who come from France, who come from Mexico. We have the artist who is coming like from like it's Canada, and of course like we do have like our outstanding faculty who is playing in our festival as well. Yes, and we have James Ennis, right?
Very famous
Chris,
guy.
Alec Chris, it's like he is a professor in Eastman School of Music. So we do have one of the most prestigious school in the world, and musician from there to come in to play in our festival. Yes, and
so if
yes.
I could add, I think we're looking at trying to go for the best of both worlds. You have outstanding concert and jazz musicians coming from all over, and we're having them here in our community. You can hear them live. You don't have to settle for a recording. And in this time in history, to actually hear a great artist live and personal, the way that people did in, say, Mozart's day when there was no recording, is very, very special. Then you factor in the physical beauty, the scale of the community, the reputation of the School of Music, and all these things that you can build on, and it's just a great convergence of good things coming together.
Yes, and like if we're talking about like music general, music is our emotion, right? What is inside us, like reflect of our emotion. And if we were talking about chamber music, it's specific. It is this really very it's a chamber, it's a room. So when you in a room with musician, with music and audience, it's coming something really very special and intimate. So this is like, it's why a chamber music may be one as the most emotional setting for all musicians. And it's like, it's why we're talking, like our audience sometimes never have been in a classical concert, and they come and said, oh my God, they open words. This is like it's our idea to open for somebody who has never have been even in a classical concert.
And what Alla's talking about is intimacy. There's lots of ways to have a great musical experience. You can go to an amphitheater and sit with 40,000 people, and there's lights zooming around, and you can get out your cigarette lighter and wave it around, and that's an experience. It's a very typical 20th or 21st century experience. But the intimacy, when you think of what some of these composers, even in modern times, they wrote for people getting together in rooms, in chambers, and playing, often people who had close relationships with one another as well, and playing, it's a conversation.
It's a conversation.
Goethe called a quartet an intelligent conversation, the poet Goethe, and this is a chance to be up close not mediated by any electronics, but to be up close with some personal conversations.
Conversation, and also like it's just like it's why we have the host, because we would like to connect musician and audience through the words as well. And it's plus we do have musician just before each piece, each music, they talk about maybe 1-2 minutes personal idea why they playing this music, how they feel this music. So it's make each concert and each music which they present not really kind of academic, dry, like
you don't have to wear
like,
tuxedo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Not
so
too classic.
It is. We will try to make this possible. This is like it's our classical word, jazz classical, to make possible to bring as more people as possible, open for them.
That's two really good combinations together, and I find that's really unique because typically in like Manitoba, other provinces across the country, you don't really see a lot of classical and jazz concerts. You see your
like
rock, your country. So
not
this is very
exist
unique.
in the Manitoba concert like festival which outside the city. So this is like it's our mission to bring people from it's not like who is like, oh my God, it's whole Carnegie Hall, why I should go there. Bring for small community to them to kind of open for them world of the classical music. And plus, because it's national park, we do have the visitors across the Canada, across like we have like from different countries. We have some Austria, we do have some guests. We have some from Europe. We have from Germany, Denmark, Vienna. You know, like it's in Vienna, like we have some comments, and one is a woman said, "Oh my God, I did not expect a Mozart festival. It's basically it's here. It's in the prairie."
Yes.
So we quite honor about and excited about this.
And it's all different because like within the jazz and the classical music, they all have their different type of styles, right?
Of course.
Yes.
And classical music wasn't born old. It was born young. When it was born, it was new. It's old now, but when it first came along, it was new, and it was performed in settings much like many of the settings that this festival will happen in, and that's important too, to remember that you're not just visiting a museum. This is live music by real people, done in many ways the way it was originally done, and in the context where you can listen and compare and experience with a Broadway show tune, pop music, improvised jazz, and so on.
Perfect. So let's talk about the concerts now. There's going to be 5 of them.
Yes.
Can you tell a little bit about each and every one and what they're going to be all about?
Well, like we create program which are actually for whole history, we never repeat any programs, and our festival, it's each concert have something specific, unique, and interesting, and amazing, and which is make very special. And it's sometimes as people ask, which concert you recommend to us to go? It's each concert so unique and has something, it's a special, and it's like masterpiece, it's like different side of the interest of the. But if we talk about each concert, let's say first concert, opening night, we do present a chamber version of the concerto, piano concerto with orchestra. But we do have, we're lucky enough to have very good arrangement, which is possible to us to do Mozart concerto with a chamber group of musicians. It's a masterpiece, it's a genius, and with Mozart you never can be wrong. And what it's about Brahms, right? You like the Brahms too. You remember
Yes. The tone is a bit different. The Mozart, the second movement ended up being in the soundtrack of a movie in the 70s, the so-called Elvira Madigan theme. It's a melody you might recognize. The Brahms dare I say, might dig a little deeper in your soul in some ways.
Yes.
But once again, the scale of the performance. These are small groups of musicians. You're not that it's a bad thing, but you're not going in and looking at a huge philharmonic orchestra, row upon row of men and women in black and so on. This is a much more intimate sort of experience. So you have a work from the 18th century, the Mozart, and then you have a work from the 19th century,
yes,
the Brahms.
Yes, so it is like it's opening night, and thank you very much for Brandon University. They do sponsoring refreshment, wine and cheese refreshment after the concert.
So you can mingle with the artists, right?
With the
Okay.
More human stuff.
Yes.
One-on-one.
Yes, and so like we're very excited about opening night, and opening night is always it's a big, quite huge event. Second hour concert, and it's Dahnani, right?
Yes.
And interesting about this, like it is not really often played piece, but when you heard this piece, your soul will be melted. It's so gentle, it's so romantic, it's so beautiful piece of music, and also like it's Max Bruch. Like like this is piece I'm not sure if it ever was ever played in a Canada.
Possibly not.
Possibly not.
Yes,
we need still make research about this and see, but it is absolutely not 200% ever masterpieces.
Okay. These are very big romantic pieces, to be fair to say.
Yes.
And Dohnányi, he lived well into the 20th century, but he knew Brahms, and so he's got a link to this romantic style, but he's also a man of the 20th century and lived through all of those events as well. And the founder of a sort of dynasty of musicians. I think it's his grandson that's still around, Christoph.
Yes.
Yeah. So, bottom line, something not many people in Westman have heard ever.
Okay.
I think it would be fair to say.
It's a big first-time experience.
And fair to say, we not really wants to talk a little bit, it's open about each pieces, particular, because it is would like to say to the concert, and as artists prepare some very interesting, maybe intrigue story which is connected with each piece, or personal view what they feel. So, but continue for example, coffee concert, right? Coffee concert, it's unique, it's very different, because if you would like to have great coffee and with pastry, which is going together with concert, and have fun, serious musical fun, you should come in a coffee concert. It's in the morning, so it is
in a church basement.
It's in a church.
It's a totally different
atmosphere.
Atmosphere, absolutely different. Well, music's still upstairs, right? And but it's but we do have it's one it's nice round tables with coffee, pastry, and fun, light music, let's say. And the same day, on a Saturday, we do have some jazz concert. And it's talking about jazz concert, it is really different too. So many years, Greg Gishin, who is Dean of School of Music, and absolutely wonderful, outstanding jazz musician, he create some team which is, you cannot beat this team. It's it is every single year he create absolutely new and wonderful jazz program, jazz concert, and we're very lucky to have this team now, and it's grand finale.
And we couldn't tell you specifics about that if we wanted to, because it's jazz and it's going to happen the way it's going to happen.
It's
that day.
Improvisation,
Spontaneous, right?
Spontaneous.
So
yes.
that's part of it.
Yes.
Perfect.
and also like it's at a grand finale. It's also like it's a big event. We do have like we start with Mozart and we finish with Mozart. Genius Piano Quartet, who is like it's created by Mozart. It's very interesting actually. He has commissioned to create the chamber music, and it's suddenly he got some message. Okay, we not needed. So so he create one quartet, and after that, little bit later, like a genius is genius. He's just like, and he's heard like it's still music. So and he write anyway this piano quartet, which has become one of the maybe main masterpieces of his. It's very hard to say because Mozart pieces, all the masterpieces, right? But it is something special to. It is a kind of piano concerto type of piano, very difficult technically,
yes.
So beautiful. So it is. We're looking forward for grand hour finale.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And these artists that are performing, how are they selected?
Oh, it is quite challenging process, an exciting process, because basically you try to find a good friend, right? Because it's not just like you're going to make music together, but mostly some of our artists coming like it's second time or third time, like Joyce Sly. She first come like to our festival, and we were thrilled about her talent, virtuosity, technique. So we going we invite. It's already like it's a second or third time. So we're looking forward to her, and she coming with his husband. So viola, he is viola. So and we do have every year. Artist who is never play in a festival, like Andres. He is from Toronto Symphony, but Daniel and Alexander used to play with him chamber music and on some different occasion. So we already kind of know him, but we always looking for new names, for new some. Ideas about their program and interpretations, artists. So it's quite exciting. But so far we thank God we were successful because as people and audience love it, what we present and doing.
Okay,
here.
perfect.
Yes.
So when's this going to be taking place?
Well, at the festival 26 to 29, we start on the 26th at Lord Watson Recital Hall, beautiful acoustic as a School of Music hall with a grand Steinway piano. There it's 300 seats, so it's two first concert, 27 and 27, which 26 and 27, which is Thursday and Friday. Is going to be in the Lord Watson Recital Hall, School of Music, Brandon University. And next morning, and a Saturday morning, we're going to Erickson Lutheran Church, which is about 45 minutes from Brandon. We really was fortunate to find this historical
it's
church.
A beautiful building and wonderful acoustics.
Wonderful acoustics. We did bring piano there every single year, our grand piano. And we're hoping that for next upcoming year, Ericsson going to buy the piano. So hopefully, yes, it will happen. If it's not, it will be back again because it is an exceptional place for make a concert and festival there. So Ericsson Church and a 27. And the same time it's Saturday, 27, and evening we have 28. Thank you.
Pardon me.
Yes, and the 28 is Wasagamin Arts. It's a jazz in a national park. Last year we did first time our jazz concert there, and it was fantastic for jazz concert. It was really just like great location for jazz concert, and we repeat this year. So in the 28 7:30. And Basagamin Arts, we do have jazz concert. And our grand finale, we do in Erickson Church. It's 3 p.m. So our
That's
grand
a tradition
finale,
too.
it's tradition
Mid-afternoon
too.
grand
Yes,
finale.
Yes, and it is a Sunday, July 29, Erickson Lutheran Church Festival grand finale.
Okay, perfect. And if someone wanted to get more information, do you have a website?
Yes,
or?
we do have a like festival website. It's www.clearlakefestival.ca, and also it's really, if it's you need more information, very easy to call to School of Music, Brandon University. It's 247279631, and it's our School of Music answering any question about the festival and sell tickets.
And speaking of which, that's where you can get tickets too, like you just mentioned. So the first 6 callers that call in for WCG TV will get tickets for the Clear Lake Chamber Music Festival.
Yes.
So please call in.
And also, like it's like we do have like it's 7 places. Today I just count 7 places, different places where you can buy the ticket. So when you go on Clear Lake Chamber Music Festival website, you can find like where to buy the tickets. But it is very quite very well known in the Brandon places. It's TED Music, you know, the Surgery Center. It is a green spot, and it's green spot. It's in Brandon and Anna and also Poor Michael's shop. It's really very famous and quite popular place for amazing Anna
Perfect. It's a lot of places where you
it's
can
a
get them.
lot of places in Brandon and Anna and also like it's when you call, we can send to you tickets and we can took there like by your master card or Visa. It's payment goes, so it's quite comfortable. So you know, and you're welcome come personally to buy the ticket. So yes.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything else you two would like to add today? Or?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
You know, like it's festival to make festival successful and more exciting for all of us, we need volunteers. So anybody who would love to help, who would like to, well, not for this year, for next year, for example, to provide for artists and be host, please call to School of Music, Brandon University. Or if you can maybe help with distribution of our brochure and poster, please call to us. Please call for us for any question which you think you can help to our festival, and we'll be really glad to hear from you. Plus, you will really, I'll promise you will have wonderful and great time.
I think so. A lot of people love jazz and classic music, so I think it will be very, very successful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you. It's our
Thank
pleasure.
you.